Hello there, little Coach Gaby here. So I actually did reach Master by playing what? Bruisers in mid lane. Not top lane, mid lane. Mid lane, mid lane, mid lane, and mid lane and so on, right? Now sometimes I did get my secondary role top lane, right? And one time I did get jungle. Now, notably, I played at most Bruisers, Aatrox, Mordekaiser, Jax, Yone, but Yone not on mid lane, he's not even a Bruiser. Yone on top lane, right? Because sometimes I did get my secondary roles, and in there I just played like whatever champion. Sometimes I played the cannon, right? But at most I did play a Bruiser on mid, and when I was like tired of playing Mordekaiser or it was a bad pick, I did go AP mid by going Gragas. It's sort of a Bruiser Gragas as well, because similar, for example, to Silas, he does CC, he does slow, he does heal, right? He does dash. So in a way, he is a sort of a Bruiser as well. And so let's just straight up jump into like, why should you even play Bruisers or mid lane? Well, do you want to challenge yourself? Sometimes the matchups are even easier. For example, Aatrox, right? This is my most played champion. So why the hell would you play Aatrox mid over Aatrox top? Well, think about it. What do you face on top lane that you dislike? Fiora. I don't like to face Fiora on top lane as Aatrox. Well, people don't play Fiora mid. Irelia, now very rarely people play Irelia mid. If you're Irelia king, he's gonna play Irelia mid. But like there are like borderline no Irelia players mid lane, so you don't have to worry about that. And there are many other annoying matchups which you may face on top lane, but on mid lane you don't find the same champions. Now of course there are some annoying matchups on mid as well, but you can handle them by going for combat, right? That's the thing. So the trick in range matchups is to go for combat. We see I have really good scores even into lane bullies such as like ziggs, even into like Zed I take combat because he mostly utilizes his ranged abilities into you. He won't all in you, of course. So a lot has to do with your knowledge, your rune knowledge, summoner spell knowledge, matchup knowledge, right? So when it comes to these type of exotic picks, you also got to know like what are you building and what are you doing, right? Now, from the other hand, the reason why you wanna pick these Bruiser picks because they are not bad. Aatrox mid is not bad at all. He has so many favorable matchups, it's unreal. You don't even face champions like Riven in mid lane as an example. So the matchups are sort of also more interactive. They are less stale, because often on top lane it's quite stale. He's gonna poke a Kusante to the point where he just like recasts at some point and you can't even kill him, as an example, right? But also notable that you have way more map pressure overall, because you get to roam with these type of champions. At most, these champions have also some form of wave clear, so it's not hard to actually shove and roam as Aatrox, for example. So it's easier to sort of join skirmishes, because they are definitely strong in early skirmishes. So that's one of the strong points of these Bruisers. So it's easier to sort of rotate to a Scuttlescrap fight, or perhaps get a lane priority depending on your matchup. But generally speaking, the easier matchups are the melee ones. Usually you should be able to beat every single melee matchup as a Bruiser mid. Usually some of them of course will take skill, and then range matchups like some of them like Orianna can be a bit annoying if you're unskilled as Aatrox, for example, and Syndra takes like a special amount of skill, so like you got to know how to play your range matchups, of course. But at most like the matchups are like fun and decent. Of course, if you wanna rewatch how did I play these Mordekaiser, these Aatrox games, these Yone, Gragas, Pantheon games, and so on, you can rewatch all of those gameplays. At most, I actually streamed almost every single game on my YouTube channel. In the live section, you're pretty much gonna find almost every single game I actually played. And here I played some Bud Spencer game, of course, in between. But at most, you'll find every single game that I played, so you'll see how to play these XY matchups, right? But let's just like stop talking and let's just straight up jump into these ziggs matchups that's supposed to be very annoying and hard to deal with, right? So let me showcase you guys one Aatrox games to see how these Aatrox games go on mid lane. So I'm against Ziggs, not a very favorable matchup, just because he can poke you from far away, while also he has a way of disengaging with his W, so you really gotta play around his abilities. Preferably you should dodge something with your E, and you should look for a counter attack with your Q, but this type of mid lane matchups are often low on interaction and requires you to go for some type of plays. For example, in here I missed my Q, right? But I still continue going, and I got a short hit on him. But often they will give you a sucker punch, right? And that's that, you know, like often they will give you a sucker punch, but you shouldn't be too worried because of that, due to your second wind and D shield regen, so it's not really a big deal. Now, also these are my general runes, of course. As much as possible you can give up your E, because it has like a low to no cooldown when it comes to dodging an ability, so you're gonna waste people's mana. Even there I tried to E his W, but I was a little bit slow, so at least dodge the combat with the E if you're not gonna use your E aggressively anytime soon. That's also totally fine. And so in here we can see that soon I'm looking for an all-in, but why am I looking for an all-in? So for important cooldowns, you gotta know in your own head some important cooldowns, such as a Syndra, a Ziggs W, because a Ziggs W allows him to disengage from your Qs, right? So that's what you should watch out for. It has a 20-second cooldown. So I knew that my W is up, EQ is up, and his W is supposed to be on cooldown. So I actually can look for an all-in in here, right? In here he flashes, that's fine. That's totally fine. I dodge his abilities, and as much possible I'm doing my best. By the way, I forgot Ghost on from last game, I think. Usually I play TP, but in here we saw what he did. This is his W, right? He throwed out his W while he had no mana and no flash either, right? So this was a clear all-in angle for me, right? So when they waste their abilities, you can look to all-in them. This is like a very clear, this is a very clear way of all-in Ziggs, right? Then I also spared my Q, so I can wave clear, because it wasn't a necessity for me to. Don't freeze into a Ziggs. Into a Ziggs it feels to be very bad to freeze. Just push as fast as possible, because Ziggs gonna break it anyways, and he gonna TP back with some items. So as much as possible you should aim to look for some type of skirmishes and fights, if you can in between. If it's not possible, that's totally fine, but aim to sort of use your E more often than I do to dodge those abilities. I think in this game I was a little bit sloppy with Aatrox, but definitely like your ED action time is getting tested like every single game, actually, right? Every single game. And in here I'm just shoving the wave, right? I thought I gonna hit the W on him. Now this won't really freeze, because I mean I can't really be bothered even if it would freeze, because like this they're just perma shove anyways, so it's not like this would ever even freeze. And basically right now I'm just investing my gold. Now in here I'm going for a snowbally build, because I want to match the snowballiness of my own teammates. You have a snowbally bot, sort of snowbally jungle, same as top lane. Sadly top lane instead, but Sejuani is kind of snowbally even if he's on top lane, because he can actually get a nice amount of early kills with Ignite, but also her ult is really useful to roam on my mid lane, right? So I sort of wanted to extend my lead really nicely with this Serapte Dark. Gives insane amount of damage, and I also have decent amount of cooldown from my runes only. And in here I tried to collapse on Kindred, but I shouldn't use the Blast Cone. That was maybe a bit of a mistake from my part. And in here we don't quite manage to catch her. We mess it up a little bit because I missed my first Q. Then my W doesn't either pulse her. Now I do force, but Sejuani didn't rotate, because I think it was like, I think he blindfoldedly walked towards lane instead of collapsing or something, I don't know. But something went wrong, and I think then what happened, she also flashed and jumped over the wall. So unlucky shit happened, she flashed away, but she only took a camp. And that's fine, we could have played better, but that's fine, at least we got a flash. And right now I'm just pretty much like buying a refillable potion, because that's all I could afford. Let's just look at my side as well, shall we? Oh, wrong side, my bad, I misclicked. And let's see what can we do. So in here we simply pushed out the wave. If he holds it, it's fine because we can break the freeze anyways. While also he gonna take a lot of minion damage and he has no mana. So in here preferably we want to push and keep him in lane. And once he has no mana, we wanna force a Drake, because then he can't contest with 0 mana on ziggs, right? So if he like he has no lost chapter, so he won't have much mana, except he has some biscuits of course, but generally they recall. So right now we wanna sort of saturate his mana and soon rotate to Drake. But I think I had another plan as well of going for this Cutter Scrap, which we didn't really manage to contest. I really tried, but in here we couldn't really contest it. And basically I just don't even fight Kindred, I just Q her, but I know she's gonna Q away from my other Qs and I'm gonna get just traded down and she's gonna pick up maybe the plant. So the pokes I throw at her won't even be worth. Yon is coming, Ziggs is coming, so it's just too risky, but it's fine. Because right now my goal is very simple, just to push this and try to disallow Kindred from contesting the, how's it called, Drake, in case she wants to, right? Because once I'm level 6 it's way harder for her to contest the Drake. I'm even trying to like kite towards the Drake as much as possible. Accidentally I dropped the wave, of course I shouldn't get the wave. I just wanted to check if they are contesting or not the Drake. And in here it's just very simple, you know, like even around Diamond 1 Master you can play the very simple game of shoving and looking for potential roams. Anywhere really you can, right? So anywhere you can, you should aim to look for a possible roam. Now in here what I'm doing is pretty much aiming through this wall, and I'm looking to recall, because there is not many other opportunities on the map that are showing up. So I'm just investing my gold, and that's pretty much it, right? Like it can be very annoying, Ziggs, because he can constantly poke you, and you have to dodge his abilities. Because like the issue with Aatrox's Q, that you self-lock yourself in one spot. So it's actually kind of easy for him to hit his abilities, right? And in here I tried to save the Ashe, but sadly she died as well, so it's a bit unfortunate, but we still can recover from this. It's just it's a bit of a unlucky game at the beginning, because people are hinting here and there a little bit, and I'm not in the most favorable matchup. But that's why I wanted to like show a sample of a game where I'm not doing too well. Where the game is, or not I'm doing too well, everyone else is just like misplaying as well, you know. I mean, I'm not doing too well either because I'm in a ziggs matchup, but I'm trying my best to like sort of salvage the situation, right? You should understand it that ziggs can be a bit unfun, and there are some unfun matchups, but generally speaking, you can just like pretty much just all-in mages that can disengage smoothly from your all-in combo, and just like more than often just get a very strong trade on them, or just kill them if you went for some trades before. So you shouldn't understand it that this is a very difficult of a matchup to be in, of course. And now it's just very simple what happens. Right now I'm just pretty much CSing as much as possible. Picking up CS, I'm getting poked of course. So this is just smart enough of course to punish my last hits, and right now we have to be on the safer side right now because Nami got spotted recently. Nami is not bot lane, we don't see the Kindred, so we actually have to play a bit more safety. So that's the other issue, that often the enemy jungler can be perma missing, so often I can't really just force a Q trade at least on ziggs, even if not an all-in. Even W pokes are good because we have Scorch and Comet, so you can actually aim to like poke with Scorch and Comet. Generally speaking, into like range champs or champs that are like Zed, you can take Comet into, right? Usually you can take Conqueror though in some games, especially if you have some type of enchanters that can also keep you alive. Yeah, Conqueror becomes a bit more valuable. In there we tried to force something, but I sadly missed arrow and he flashed. So it's whatever, you know, it's fine, like shit happens. He flashed and she missed her arrow, it's whatever. But right now they pretty much got the bot plated towers and they're coming mid lane to get my mid plates, my bot laners, right? And now Ziggs tried to like poke the Caitlyn away, but we are still forcing a all-in on the how's it called, how's the champion called? Kindred? But she also flashes away. So you guys can see everyone flashes away from us, right? Everyone just flashes, which can be annoying, can be frustrating. But it is what it is for now. Questionably enough, Caitlyn picked that kill up, and she managed to disengage. And I think he ulted a bit too early. Should have ult when he goes back, but it's whatever. Mistakes will happen here and there, but at least they are throwing some kills at us as well, the enemy team. So we are sort of coming back, right? And yeah, I mean, let's look at the cooler part where I get some degree of kill, shall we? We can also look at the cooler parts as well where I get some degree of kills. But I wanted to sort of showcase what I do in laning phase, what I do outside of it. Generally in here I went for a Duskblade build. It's super good into them because you can kill them in no time and get a reset. My team also can set me up to get a smooth reset. But also it's like very snowbally overall to go for this Duskblade build. And has the most damage out of the vitality items. But sometimes I go a Stridebreaker, a Golden Crown Aatrox. In here I also went, I think I went Armor Boots because they have lots of AD champs at basic attack. But usually I go cooldown boots when I'm like hard snowballing. But in here, the game is not going super well, so I'm not going Ionian because I'm gonna be very squishy. And in here I just decided to simply, you know, just rotate to the Drake. Very simple, I just like rotate to the Drake. I'm fishing for picks. Some people even used to be Grandmaster in the past apparently. I all-int her. Guess what happens? She flashes away. It can happen. It can happen that every time I ult someone has flash. It is what it is. And in there I did time my Q, but I think it wasn't timed properly, I'm not sure. We still got Wally out of the fight. Even though we don't get the kill, it's fine, like we still got some degree of assists, right? Because we are sort of the type of people right now that forces every single flash out of them, and my teammates can kill them at some point, right? But it's like we all the time just force out flashes, but those are valuable as well, because sometimes if someone can't flash away from a Stridebreaker Nocturne, then they might just be dead, right? So at the end of the day, like me, like pulling those flashes out of them can be super valuable for my teammates. So don't see it as a bad thing at oh look now I wasted my ult and they only flashed, because that flash has like a 5-minute cooldown, right? So generally more than any ultimate in the game, which is like really good. Now I'm just looking for picks if someone is overstepping, but no one came, so I just see through the wall. I wave clear, plain and simple of course. And right now I'm just like pretty much looking to push a little bit because everyone seemed to be revealed on the map. I even left the ward, so I'm just putting pressure on the map of course, while mid lane gets value on the mid side of the map. But slowly we are scaling up. Like once we get Duskblade we're gonna be way more useful. It just currently we have to scale a little because we're not in the best spot right now. Due to it's just really all about like being a bit low on CS. Then also the other issue was that couldn't really get many plays, couldn't really get many kills. So we have to wait until we scale up a little and then we become way more useful. But we can also skip to the point where I did get kills and we have Duskblade, if it's more exciting for you guys of course. Soon I think we're gonna get a Kindred kill in here. 6:15, huh? So in here we do get the kill, but she gets 2 kills, right? So that's not like 100% worth. So it's not like 100% worth. I'm not sure why did I follow for call, but like it kind of backfired a little. And now we have Duskblade, so we have a lot of damage at this point actually, right? And at this point we are online. So after Duskblade you are online. You get plenty of kills after Duskblade, but before that it's gonna be a bit more difficult because like you don't have insane damage. So we see that 0 damage so far, 0 damage on the Duskblade passive. And so from a single champion combat against Yon, you guys gonna see how much damage I push out of it, even after nerfs. And we pick him up, and we can see that the dust plate damage against a single champion was 280, which is kinda juicy, right? Only the passive effect itself, right? Now, of course, the AD, the lethality, the cooldown gonna be still super useful, but only the passive damage itself dealt quite a nice amount of damage. Compared to Eclipse, for example, because Eclipse does like borderline low damage, right? And in here I'm also engaging into some type of combat soon, but the issue was that there was a control bar and it spotted me. So right now we are just pretty much looking to still sneak in. Maybe we can sneak in a kill. We turn back as he gave up his E, so I all in the I just simply all in the Nami. She wastes her bubble. I mean, she did hit me, but like I hit my Q, so she dies. And in here I got knocked back, so I didn't really space well his thing, but I still managed to pick him up. And I'm pretty much looking for another kill. Sejuani ults him. And we can see like Duskblade did a great amount of damage, right? Really good to execute people, right? And yeah, now we pick up a Drake. Now we just aim to like get this Drake off the map as fast as possible. And I just skip forward, we pick up the bot wave. Yon shows up, but Nocturne decided to ult the Nami because it's free kill, so we don't kill the Yon, that's fine, we got the Nami, that's also great. And in here I just recall, and my next item will be Spear of Sojin. Now why Spear of Sojin? They're not very high on armor, so I should get Black Cleaver or something, right? But also notably I need HP, I need cooldown, I need movement speed into them. So all of them, they just solve all of your problems on Aatrox, right? They just like give you durability, speed, cooldown, damage, it's insane, right? It's so well suited for Aatrox. Now in here I don't fight him too hard, because Yon just hurts and he's very mobile. So I need my teammates at least in here, right? I need my teammates at least in here. And in there I prefer to not flash, of course, because I can just spare it, so I don't want to waste it, right? And let's see what I do. I just pretty much like push this wave, right? Pretty much just see forward, of course. And we are looking to side lane a little bit, even though we don't have TP. Do we side lane? What did I do this game? I think I side lane, if I'm correct. I think I was trying to match the Yon, but at the same time I was looking for some type of picks on mid lane. So I was like kind of confused. Should I match him? The issue is I can't really beat a Hullbreaker Yon with Kraken. He's way too strong, way too mobile. I don't even deal damage into him when he has a Hullbreaker. So basically, I just like allow him to push. I just bend over and stay under the tower. You know, I shouldn't fight him in here because I cannot do much. So we just def in here. We just def in here. We got a short raid on him, of course, when he is, but overall it's not really like possible to fight him right now. We're just like matching him, right? Like this is one of those like games where I didn't really get like insane amount of kills of laning phase because it's ziggs. That's why I wanted to show like one of those games where you just like don't turbo smash, turbo stomp your opponent in lane, where things are a bit also more stale, to see what you should do if things are just like working a bit more consistently, right? And in here we get some kills as well soon, so let's skip a bit forward. Now in here we got the bot wave, probably we like got some things here and there. And now we are just looking for fights in here, so pretty much we are rotating for fights as much as possible, for Baron fights, for whatever we can get, of course. And right now pretty much I'm looking to punish the Nami that's overstepping into our control bar, because she is pretty much wiped in no time if she steps up, right? I spot the Nami and I'm like, Nami, die. I know that he will flash, so I just commit. I know he will E in here, so I E flash. And then I go in on Yon, and I'm like, nope, I gotta get the fuck out of there, because I don't beat him. I just don't beat him. I know I have ult, I know I have ghost. I don't have follow-up, it doesn't matter. It's a Heartbreaker, Kraken Yon, it doesn't matter, brother. He just did so much damage. So you gotta like be well above like Yon, that's the thing, if you wanna beat him. Otherwise he's just not gonna end up well, okay? He's just not gonna end up well. So in here maybe I should rotate to the ziggs so it doesn't like zones my team away from Baron possibly. Cause instead of choosing to fight Yon, and maybe we would get Baron, so it could be a misplay on my part, right? Skip a things a bit forward, they get a Drake, not much will happen of course in here, just CSing here and there, looking for picks, but not too many things will happen in here. And I think in here there will be another like scenario where we get some kills here and there. Pretty much I'm just looking right now to just pick up CS, so in this type of situations I just simply like speed it up, I pick up CS, I pretty much just farmed a little bit, I got my spear which is a notable item, I got my chain vest, but basically right now I'm just again like looking to fish some kills in here, but I think in here it's just like kinda impossible. I still kinda wanted to force something which was a bit misplayed on my part because I like just cannot get shit in there and I disengaged, so I was like, yeah, let's get hell out of there. And pretty much like in here I was like picking up the mid wave and not much will happen. So we can like skip a little bit so it doesn't like bore you guys by any mean. 26, so at 26 we're gonna get some kills. As I said, sometimes we just pick up waves, right? You are really good at picking up waves though and pushing out waves with Aatrox, so that's one of your general strengths. And now in here a team fight breaks up. Now all of them are squishes, so you could focus any of the DPS gems. The important thing is to get the reset as fast as possible. In there I messed a little bit up my combo though. Pick up the Azil of course. In there I tried to kill her but she steals my kill, it's fine. And in here I'm just pretty much just chasing the ziggs, I saw him going upwards, I don't know why did I go this area. And in here he's still going upwards, and in here we just all in him and we kill him. We basically pick him up. Lil bro tried to recall. And where do we get heals? At most like we got quite a lot of assists as well this game. This game wasn't quite a lot about like killing people. Lots of the times I just got so many assists this game, it's unreal. That's fine as well, you know, if your team knows what they're doing with their lead, it shouldn't be a big deal. Now we are pretty much just like playing for soul, you know, as much as possible. And yep, pretty much just like picking up this tower, you know, I mean, I'm trying to like pick it up, but it gets contested, I get marked by Kindred, but I sadly miss his arrow, so it is what it is. And here we are just playing for soul, right? So Yon is dead, very simple. What happens? We pick up the Drake, and we are looking to punish with Sejuani's ult. I didn't have ult actually, my bad, but we are looking to punish maybe with like Ashe's ult or Nocturne's ult. And so they can't really step up, that's why like no one is showing up. And now we got soul. My team did throw a little bit because the lead got into it airhead of course, so it can happen that we get a soul, but then people start throwing. The mobility felt to be super good, I won't lie to you guys, like it felt to be super good, combined with my ult, Sojin, Ghost, all that. And then here I just pretty much like all in them, as much as possible I'm trying to spread my damage so everyone gets a little bit AoE'd. Then in here I just get back, you know, like I get in but I get out as well, right? And in here I almost died, but I got my GA. then I dash out, right? I was basically dash out there. And yeah, I mean, in here we're just I think Caitlyn got cut off there. Caitlyn got cut off sadly, And basically I brought my items. What did I buy recently? I didn't buy much, just like my cow field for my next item, which will be scheduled as Grudge. Grudge because slow is really valuable into them. Armor pen is nice because we are, again, like the other issue was that we were 5 AD. That's why I chose this game, because this game was one of those like harder games in some sense, right? Because we were full AD, then the early game didn't go well. So I wanted to pick one of those like harder games, you know? Well, also I never really faced Ziggs in my life with Aatrox, I think. But did I face him before? I'm not sure. I barely faced Ziggs on mid lane, so it's not the most familiar matchup. Just stealing some CS, of course. And just looking to put pressure on the side lane. There's a short trade on Kindred and now I'm like turbo rotating. I'm just I'm like very fast right now because I have Ghost and Ult. So watch. There will be some picks. And I was sprinting. Sadly I missed all of my Qs. And I couldn't pick up the Ziggs because I missed all of my Qs. It will happen. It will happen to anyone. It can happen to anyone that you miss your Qs. But aim to not be too stagnant to those type of mistakes and move on from them. Learn from them, but move on, you know. Okay. We are kind of fed right now. We are kind of fed, but their comp is a bit annoying. That's the thing, right? Like, Yon also did split a little bit bot lane, right? It's fine. It's not a big deal though, because we're gonna push bot lane anyways right now, because mid is already open. But Link said Johnny didn't rotate there because they didn't quite have TP and she had. After I'm not sure how well can she defend into Hullbreaker, yo. Hullbreaker got recently nerfed. At least she can stall, you know. And in here I pretty much ulting because I saw Yon being low, but sadly I still got caught by Nami's ult. Even though it legit looked like I'm sidestepping it. Just watch it again, guys. It kinda looked like... In there I got a bit infuriated because it kinda looked like I'm sidestepping it. Just watch. Was this really in the hitbox? I guess. But it's a bit weird, the Nami ult, right? This skin on the Nami ult, right? Let's say this caught me, but it kinda looks like I was outside of it. But yeah, whatever, if it hits, it hits, you know. If it hits, it hits. I cannot do anything about it. And in here you just couldn't get much more value. Much more value we couldn't get out of it. Caitlyn gets a bit caught, but I think she should be fine. She should be fine. I'm also helping to peel her as much as possible. Now, again, top lane doesn't get guarded by anyone, so shit happens, of course. I think there will be like one more like good fight in here. There will be like one more good fight before we end, and I pretty much get a triple kill or something, so we can skip 18s a bit. Oh. Even some misplays happen in here, that to the point where, like, I want to show off the negative parts as well, where Ashe gets caught. You know, pretty much we couldn't even kill the Yon. Then Kindred shows up, so I kind of want to show these like negative parts as well, because it can also happen. And people all the time love to show the positive parts, where everything goes well, but I want to show you guys what to do when nothing goes well. Every time we see stuff like, oh well, everything just goes well, and this is what you should do when everything goes well, but it's not like all the time everything will go well, right? Sometimes we will throw, sometimes we will misplay, sometimes we will lose some towers, right? Because we didn't like macro correctly. Shit will happen, so these are important times to like, important things to like watch out for and to know what to do, right? In this type of scenarios as well. Not only when like I'm ahead and look now, I just like destroy every single champion and tower and whatnot, right? Now in here I thought that they were pretty much low. So I kinda wanted to contest this. I saw the Ziggs, pretty much it's a free kill for me, I missed my Q. But it doesn't matter, because I pulled him back anyways. Then I pick up the Nami. I get sadly caught by her ult. But I'm not a average type of Redditor that gets stopped by a spray. I'm a supreme Redditor. So against me you just need a flamethrower or something. Because this Nami did not escape. This Nami did not escape. And now we're just basically ending. We are ending because everyone is dead, Ezreal is coming. But Ezreal cannot defend alone and this game was pretty much GG. This game is over. So that's it for now about the Aatrox game. I hope that this was entertaining for you guys. And I want to showcase some other Bruiser gameplay as well. So at least we have 3 type of Bruiser gameplay showcases. Right? Now, in here, this was a awful game as well. Should we show you guys the awful game with Nasus? Or should I show you guys the good game with Nasus? Because we showed already a bad game. We can show a good game as well. We can show how a good matchup goes as well. Let's just showcase a good matchup. I think it's just a bit more interesting. So, this is the Nasus gameplay itself, right? Now, let's see what happened in the Nasus gameplay itself. Now, in here, notably, I'm in a easier matchup, and in easier matchups, you wanna greed for runes that generally provide you. I think it was a Fizz. I wanted to greed magical footwear, and probably it wouldn't be that hard. But like, I think I went for biscuits and approach velocity instead of like second resolve. Now biscuits are fine in approach velocity. Approach velocity helps you to gap close in mid late game more smoothly because of the constant movement speed you get due to your W slow. That slows for 5 seconds. Presence of mind, simple. You get a bit more mana, a bit more Q stacks, really useful. Fleet, just healing, so you can survive through the lane easier. Maybe arguably I could then go magical footwear over biscuits, but biscuits like give you safety. I did also stack that ward, so I have like basically like 3 more stacks in lane than usual. But even if you don't get it, it shouldn't be a big deal because those 3 stacks are not really like concerning. Now in here Fizz tries to trade with me, but that's fine because we can trade with him, because remember we have sustain from fleet and passive, right? So we actually do have healing. He doesn't really have too much sustain besides his basic health potions. So going for this type of short trades while he also gets aggroed by the minions, it's fine. I know Nasus is weak early on, but Fizz isn't insanely strong level 1 either. So we can actually just win this type of short trades by sustaining through his kit. It's quite easy, and now we are just like stacking as much as possible. So this will be a bit boring, so at most I will just stack early on, so I will speed it up a teensy bit. At most you guys gonna see me short trading a little bit and stacking, but there won't be too much excitement, I'm telling you guys. My W is kinda good at countering Fizz, by the way. It's hard for him to wiggle himself out of ganks, you know. And in here I turbo ping, so that's what you should do when you play against Talon, Fizz, whatever. Just ping as much as possible so your bot lane doesn't get collapsed on. And aim to push, right? Aim to push so he loses minions to the tower. But in here he did actually invade. That's fine. Now I'm not leaving the area because I'm not the best at collapsing on them. Instead of like following something up in here, his E would come up even if I ghost in. He's to the wall, I lose the cannon. That's not worth for me just to randomly ghost in. So what I do, I pick up my cannon. Like a cannon minion is 12 stacks, right? Which is more than a longsword amount of damage on your Q. Right? That's super good actually. That's a lot of damage you get. And in here I'm just short trading. I should my Q there instead of like basic attack. So I actually, and in there I got auto space, so that's a bit bad, right? So I missed the Q and I got a bit out of space. And in here sadly I get ganked, which does suck, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. I was capping. It does not suck because Echo actually helps me, and while also I have W in like 1 minion, right, which is basically a P skill and 1 minion. Did I not get level? Yeah, I did get level 4. I slowed him, and he wanted to flash out, but I flashed after him. I knew my Q was coming to stack him. I mean, as he steals it, but he didn't really have to flash, but he didn't really have to steal it, but you know, whatever. Not the end of the board, we just lost like 12 stacks. We still can get the wave in, which is nice. So in here the early game goes way better, and generally Fizz is not a hard matchup, even if he has Ignite, so that's like a really good thing. And yep, in here we have money to buy what? Cooldown boots. I tried to pick up that 1 minion with my E, I couldn't, but it's not a big deal now. We buy cooldown boots to stack as much as possible. That's our goal, to maximize out our mobility, stacking power, definitely great. And in here I just couldn't like Q, so I like Q'd later minion. Basically I use my E there, plain and simple. Then what happened, we said I picked up these minions and I pushed the wave because I knew that Fizz was bot lane, right? So basically right now I'm just like aiming to push and deny minions under tower. Very simple gameplay, while also I'm stacking. Arguably I could take his plates if he still wants to roam. But in here sadly I got collapsed on by Nami and Jarvan. So I kinda got F there, right? I tried 2 wards, so I could really easily ward, of course, but I didn't really bother to ward. So normally you should ward the top bot side of the map, so you can actually know like where to hover towards, otherwise you're gonna get collapsed on. So that's what you should do. In my case, I was just like greeding on pushing in the wave as fast as possible, but definitely go for the safer play if you don't wanna die there. Okay, so in here it's very simple what happens. I pick up the cannon minion, I eat the minion, I still didn't manage to pick it up, so I'm not an expert Nasus. In fact, I wasn't like too insanely great on like most of these champions I played, because like mainly I didn't really like since a while ago I didn't play Aatrox before this challenge. I didn't play like, I think years ago maybe if I played Nasus before, you know. So there were like so many champions that were like so unpracticed by me. To the point where like you gotta know actually, like you gotta actually know how to last it with Nasus, like farming. Knowing how to farm is actually a skill on Nasus, really important to learn, in my opinion. Because also people think they know how to farm, they don't know how to farm. Like if you're first timing Nasus, you don't know how to farm. With Nasus, you don't know how to like 100% like maximize out your farming. Now in here what happens, Jarvan, I was checking on Drake if Jarvan is doing it, because what are we good at? Now as Nasus, our ultimate and our skirmishes are quite strong. Our ult is super strong in all the insight in skirmishes where we have ghost up. So what do we wanna do? We wanna fight these Drakes as much as possible, because Fizz can't really match us, just because we are stronger. So our goal is very simple, fight. We have ghost, we have ult, we fight. We go in. I wanted to focus Nami, but then I was like, let's get Kate, because maybe they're gonna some random how die. So I was like, let's get a consistent kill instead of like over chasing. And in here basically Fizz was top lane, and I was like, I gonna just like pick up my mid wave. It's already control warded by us, so obviously it's not warded. And if Jarvan would go downwards, of course I would also like sort of match him by going down, but in here it wasn't. So I was like, I'm gonna stack my things, but I was walking upwards as well to check if what was Jarvan doing, of course. Otherwise he would steal these, and he's here, right? So I had to like check him, maybe proc the plant on Jarvan, of course, if he's already here. But definitely I can't really allow him just to like take the red, just to take the raptors from the enemy team, right? So that's why I had to like disallow him there to just go for a macro play. Even like of course like Echo ping me, he could be there, so I was like, yeah, It's fine, you know, I could ban stack, but no, it's better. Like don't overly greed on stacks. It's better to deny the jar wanted camp possibility, right? And basically in here we are in a sweet spot. We are actually just stacking, scaling up as much as possible, as fast as possible. Chilling basically. Oh no! PZ'd in, but it barely dealt any damage, and it will be sustained up. In here there I got a short trade on him, so that's fine. Now in here he did ult me, and maybe I ulted preemptively. I'm not sure, honestly, I ulted, but maybe I shouldn't. So I bait him to all in me and he dies to my ult. But I wasn't 100% sure of the limits, because I'm sort of like second, third timing Nasus. I played like 3-4 times Nasus on the second. So I wasn't 100% sure of the limits, but probably he wouldn't kill me. And I could ban late ult, but I just wanted to make it sure that I don't die. So basically I don't really, you know, I didn't really like risk. Because I wasn't like 100% sure of the limitations, but probably, I think he probably wouldn't kill me there, if I'm correct. And yes, it's like, every time he queues in, like you should queue him, so you get like a good trade on him. That's like always a good trade. If you have some degree of stacks, and maybe even a sheen, right? Now in here, very simple, we push the whole thing in. Basically we recall and just buy our items. Right now we are rushing as fast as possible. The Divine Thunderer, super good item on Nasus, especially when they have plenty of melee champions. Usually, I don't know if Nasus players even go Stridebreaker into ranged or Trinity. I think people all the time go Divine these days. I don't really see too many like flexible builds on Nasus. Now sometimes I do see like an Iceborne, but generally speaking, if you can go Divine all the time, you can get away with it, you know. Like some of the builds weren't like too theory crafted by me. Sometimes I did go like a Riftmaker, sometimes I did go Proto Belt on more, sometimes a Sork Shoe, sometimes Ionian Boots. But on Nasus my builds were mostly one-sided. Same as on Aatrox, I went for 3 different mythics, Stridebreaker, Duskblade, Gordrinker and all that. So basically, with other champions there was more build flexibility, while on Jax I also took Magi Soul Stealer. I got 25 stacks basically on Magi. So, but on Nasus my builds were like simple, you know, plain and simple. Most of the times it was Divine into Frozen Heart, into Gargoyle or Hullbreaker or both. So that was like a general build I had on Nasus that I always like sort of followed up. Maybe sometimes no, actually I all the time went Ionian Boots because they are just too good on Nasus. Like the number of stacks are way higher that you can get with Ionian, and your all-ins are more potent with Ionian Boots, so you already have like enough like tank stats from your ult, and you already have sustain from your passive. So I'm like, I'm kinda like, it's not really a big deal, you know. In there I took too many tower shots. In there I accidentally took 2 tower shots, so what I'm doing in here is very simple. Just looking to roam on bot lane because they are balls deep. So every time the enemy bot laners are balls deep, what are you gonna do? You have ghost up, you have ult up, you can roam on bot lane, right? And you can just pick up some kills. Sadly I didn't get the stack, that's totally fine, and in here I do stack the Caitlyn, I stack the wave, so don't go back to mid, always stay for the bot wave because you have your ult, so you can stack the wave ASAP. But also note that your Seraphine your bot laner should ideally rotate mid, but in here I think she got caught. I think in here she got caught and she had no exhaust as well, huh? So how did she die? She TP'd and did she walk into a Fizz ult or something? I think he walked into a Fizz ult. Oh yeah, he did. Oh gee. Okay. Then she didn't really use W defensive leader and she kinda wasted her whatever, you know. Whatever, not gonna complain too much about that. We are getting in here like bot plates, and in here we should have bored into Jarvan, which we didn't. Then what happens, I had to flash away. Just, I think I'm recalling for my Divine before Drake fight ideally. I am even pinging my teammates away from fights, so if you are recalling for a big item, aim to ping away your team from a monkey fight. And right now I'm just investing my gold into Iceborne. Now not Iceborne, my bad, Glacial Buckler into Frozen Heart. My bad, my bad. I hear my teammates are basically fighting. Again, too much won't really happen in here, it's just like very simple what happens. They just pick up a kill and that's pretty much it, you know. Then I'm shoving. I know Fizz is bot lane and I can eat his tower alive. So pretty much what I'm doing, I'm pushing as hard as possible. And, oh, my camera, my bad. My camera just bounced and in here basically I'm just taking his tower. Oh bro, why is this? Oh, it's on the manual thingy, okay. It wasn't on the manual, it was on the other one. The directed or... We can also just skip to the kill parts as well, or there were some like decisions here and there we took and we did, right? Like there were some like macro decisions here and there that we took, so we can also like sort of look at those things as well. In here we cannot do much. Basically, like as much as possible when you're strong as Nasus, you should force objectives. That's where you shine at. You're not the best at like sieging if they're defending. That's the thing. And here I'm just stacking. I'm kinda asking in here to be EQ'd by Jarvan though, so my positioning wasn't the best. Yeah, use this easy. What happens in here? Then in here I kinda get caught by his bubble, which kinda sucks, and I get all in, so this was a bit of a misplay on my part. Like this would be winnable if I don't get caught by everything, you know. If I ghosted earlier, I dodged the Nami bubble and I look for an all-in, then this whole thing wouldn't be so awkward, because I could ult earlier for defensive stats. But yeah, I kinda messed it up mechanically by not ghosting earlier on, that I couldn't sidestep, so this was kinda bad of an all-in from my part, and sadly even Echo follows up our int. So it was a bit of a misplay on my part, 100%. But in here, like it's fine, because like we are Nasus, we are turbo scaling, so it's not really a big issue. That we are sort of doing some misplays here and there. And then I'm rotating bot lane. I don't know why was Seraphine all the time perma rotating for Fizz when I should rotate for him, but it's whatever now. In here we just catch him. Fizz is very vulnerable to my W because he can't like disengage properly. In here he does flash abuse, I flash abuse as well, and I kill him. So pretty much easy kills. In here I'm just stacking as much as possible because I have my ultimate form, so usually like you wanna push in this situation as fast as possible with E, but if you have your ult on, definitely aim to like stack as much as possible, because the wave wasn't even in position to push. So in here we are just pushing as hard as possible, and basically just I think I'm just very soon I will recall. But for now I think we are just like aiming. Do we fight here? I don't think so. There will be a fight, but it didn't look to be too good, but it worked out. I think there will be a fight in here. Yep. Waiting time. Game is kinda loud though, huh? Yeah, this is like these type of Nasus gameplays are usually like full with stacking. We stack a lot. That's what happens. We stack a lot, we play for objectives, we stack a lot. But that's like your gameplay, right? Split push if you can, if you're in a good position to do so. But a lot of this gameplay will be about me stacking, me surviving, sometimes me getting some picks, but at most, like, it's just all about like playing properly around objectives, right? Like in here, Soul is coming soon. It's Soul. I even ult so we can secure this ASAP. And in there we pick up remaining kills, you know. Now in here I will play a little bit of a cat mice gameplay into this Jarvan. He of course like uses EQ. I of course I'm gonna follow him. Now what happens, he's looking for another EQ, but I just wither him and he just dies. He just dies. And in here it's very simple what I'm doing. I was thinking to get the wolves, but it's not worth because when they are dead, as fast as possible you want to actually, like, the wolves will stay in one place, you're gonna get them later. It's fine. Oh, he used to be challenger actually, who would have thought? Some people used to be grandmaster challenger because it's kind of a smurfy, kind of a high win rate account, so maybe that's why like people used to be higher rank before. And in here basically I'm just like, you know, picking up the wave, picking up the tower soon, and that's how I'm extending my lead. I think I'm looking to build Hullbreaker, I think, if I'm correct. I'm 100% sure what did I build. She does want to force something into me, but I don't think so she'll manage. She won't manage to force anything properly into me. They just get caught and pretty much we pick up a kill. Then I get perma CC'd. My side separance the best of course there, so that will totally happen. And now we are also just spilling Echo, so he doesn't some random how dies to Fizz of course. And here we can see Fizz didn't really manage to kill our friend Echo. Skipping forward again, just splitting the lane, just stacking, you know, pushing towards my next item, which is Hullbreaker. So that's what we are doing. We wanna become the sort of unstoppable monster champion, right? I think very soon I have it. Very soon I have it finished. But right now, I don't really recall for my Hullbreaker. Ideally, I could sell the shield because people will try to contest possibilities. Barons, I'm like, I'm gonna pressure this. If Darius shows up, you know, I'm gonna W him and out rotate him. Of course, towards the next objective. But apparently some random how Caitlyn and Nami was here, and I thought they are actually legit somehow contesting this. Maybe Jarvan ults in, maybe Nami ults it, and somehow they follow it up, you know, maybe somehow. But no, actually they were all here. They were all here. I thought they will contest Baron actually. That's fine, because like our whole goal was very simple. Our goal was to just pretty much, you know, just waste their time, you know, and meantime our team gets Baron, so that's like super good. Even though I burned my flash, that's fine, we got a Baron, that's like totally fine for us. And now I'm like really fast recalling for my Hullbreaker, and I'm looking to maximize out my split pushings. Now team fighting is fine, but split pushing can be better, because they don't have many things to like match me. They don't have anything really. They don't have many things, right? Now, in here my team is fighting, so you should move your camera in between the fight and yourself, because maybe you wanna ghost up in some case scenario. But in here pretty much I was very fixated to just destroy the tower and do too much. There wasn't anything to rotate on, so I was like, I'm gonna do my own thing in here. You guys do your own things as well, right? So everyone was happy. And in here we are basically looking to force a end very soon. He hits his really well. He did actually hit his ability, but she flashes. It's not a big deal that I'm tanking, because I'm gonna destroy the towers in no time. And basically at this point, like, my Q does like 1000 damage, I think, to the Nexus, of course. So what's happening in here is very simple. we are just like destroying this Nasus in no time, and this is one of those GG good games. Even though Fizz got some random kills from roamings, I perma pinged him, that's why he had like an advantage of course, but overall this was a nice decent game. So usually champions that are not too punishing, such as a Fizz, are generally good matchups for you. Generally champs that you can like sort of CS into, you know, like if you can at least like CS, that's like usually a decent matchup because you can scale like super well as Nasus anyways. And yeah, so that's it about the Nasus gameplay. What else should I show you guys? So Gragas is kind of a bruiser, kind of a tank. I'm not sure if I should show you guys Gragas gameplay. Do we care about the good Pantheon? Do we care about the Mordekaiser gameplay maybe? We go look for we go check out the Mordekaiser mid gameplay as well, right? Why not, right? So this was one of those, I think, very bad games. I think this was one of those bad games, right? The reason why do I say that is I played against Bankai, so I pretty much got Bankai'd out of this world. What can I say? It's a annoying poking matchups usually, the Orianna. It's not the best matchup, but I did go for Comet and Scorch, so I can like sort of match her poking potential. So that's kind of good to have. Then we're gonna skip forward, because too many things won't happen in laning phase. As a whole, I just wanna show off like how do you play the laning phase itself into like these more so annoying poking oriented champs. But they overall have an annoying comp. Everyone is annoying in that comp if you play Mordekaiser. Like, you poke there, she does poke me back as well, but because we have regen, this at the end of the day will be better for us. And now we just skip forward, of course. We got poked a little bit, she got level 2, but that's not a big deal right now, we're gonna sustain up anyways. And in here we are just looking to CS as much as possible, you know, looking for some type of minions to pick up, some type of pokes, you know. But as I said, this can be, I can speed this up as well, because at most, like, sometimes we did like go for an all-in, sometimes she short traded into me, but the laning phase is kind of dependent on which jungler ganks first. And in here none of them ganked mid lane, so none of us really died. Sometimes you need a little bit of a jungle can help to sort of, you know, kill your opponent, and in there she sidestepped my abilities really nicely, so I couldn't quite actually like pressure her enough. But if that EQ would hit there, then she would be forced right now to recall, so that sucked a little. Yeah, you see how hard I poke. That just hurts. Sadly, I missed my E, so E is not easy to hit. And in here I kinda need a grave. Like, I need someone to finish her off, you know? I need someone to finish. I try, but it's like I can only like poke her, and slowly I'm pushing her HP down. But it's like I need someone to finish her, right? So ideally you need an Alice, you need a Lee Sin, you need someone to like sort of finish off that Orianna, because alone it's kind of hard. He does miss, of course, his Q, so I'm pretty much just looking to punish, you know. At least we are punishing him a little bit. And in here I'm trying to kill her, but like Janna Qs me as well. I can't really look for a good Q flash, so I just like flash away. Nautilus does pick up the kill, which is great. Like, that's why I said like I need just an extra bit, you know. This Orianna is perma low on HP, but she has flash, so if I Q flash, then I can only like bluff a Q flash if I can even do that. But if I Q flash often, she can just flash away. So that's that, you know. It's very volatile, you know, it's very volatile when both of us are like low. Usually she used to be like way lower on HP than I did, so that's that, you know. Now in here I did actually go for a Sork shoes. Didn't go Yoni on 7 for just like burst damage, you know. You guys gonna see it later on why did I go for it. It allows me to sidestep more smoothly the Orianna abilities overall, then it also like gives me like more damage on my pokes. But we cannot force anything on her sadly because Orianna XD. We can go for some short trades, but yeah, it's kind of like the type of like mid laner that you need like a CC engager jungler into, like a Zac or someone to finish her off when she's low, right? But you need a little bit of a jungle assistance until you're good on your own. Now in here I knew that Yon will ult me, because Yon was obviously missing. He's looking for an angle, right? But in there I just ult him as soon as he arrives, you know. Right? So I dodged the Orianna ult as well. And so what happens in here is just very simple. Basically I stole some of his stats and I just beat him. He just dies. Then I get a Q on him and I almost died. Almost died there. I still like choose to stay so I can bait her into a Graves gank, potentially. Or I can also like pick up my cannon, pick up my CS. Sadly I got caught in there, I eat, but he didn't really like take that Q for some reason. Hopefully he doesn't die. It's a 1-for-1 anyways, but you know, like you see how volatile it can be to play Mordekaiser mid lane. Usually, you shine at skirmishes like Drakes and this type of like Heralds and this type of like skirmishing fights around Dribbler, but you're not the best at laning into like this type of champs like Orianna. You always need a little bit of a elbow grease of help. The CSing, you know. Now in here I do get killed, I think, and soon, very soon, I think I'm gonna get killed. Now in here I die. I die quite miserably. I don't want this video to be too long, so I wanna like skip out to the main parts, you know, of why did I go for this specific rune set, and of course like item build, and to the parts where basically I got kills, right? She does miss her Q, which is very bad if she does that. Now he misses his ult, but I do E, it misses. Then I force an all-in into her and she dies, you know, she basically dies. I even allowed him to get the assist with his E. That's why I didn't really like Q, right? Definitely wasn't because I was scared that I'm gonna miss it. We're not killing anyone here, huh? We're not killing anyone here, so soon the laning phase will be over. It will be stale at most, but I think we'll start to shine once we get our Rally. I think once we get our Protobelt, but I did rush Protobelt. I'm not sure if I went Rally this game. I think I got a lot of assists. I think I got a lot of assists overall, no? I think pretty much I did. Pretty much I did, It looks like the game is not going too well, that's why I chose this game. I mean, bot-ins, top sort of wins, jungle-ins, we still did win this game, but people didn't. And my laning phase wasn't the best either, because people also... Notably, I didn't really int Orianna, it's just my teammates kinda inted her, so... It's like one of those like bad games I chose to show you guys like how to sort of like come back in lanes where you can't just turbo stomp your opponent as Mordekaiser. In here I Protobelt, you know, she phase rushes, it doesn't really matter. I miss my thing. She flash abuses as well. And now in there he does ult me. She doesn't really kills me, but she did actually flash and ult away, which are really good resources that she gave up on me. So there will be like some fights, like often when I was fighting people with Mordekaiser, often people just flashed or ulted me. So that's why like there weren't like too many like kill opportunities, sadly, in this game to like just sort of showcase. I think mostly we got also assists this game. We got 2 kills, 1 assist so far. And here we didn't really participate, so I chose to split push, because often Orianna was matching me. And basically Orianna is way more useful in team fights than I am, so I was like, yeah bro, let's just like pull her to the side lane. Because more than often it wasn't Yon, it was actually Orianna that was matching me. So I was like, yeah bro, let's just like try to force her to the side lane, right? It's way better than as if we would have to team fight into her. Now she did have TP, but like they don't like to insta rush the Baron or something, you know? Because in here I'm kind of forced to go for Ghost. I can't go TP on Mordekaiser, otherwise I'm useless in mid-late game. Even in laning phase it's way harder to look for lethal windows, right? So, lethal damage windows. Oh, so we did get ulted, so what happened in here? Did we die? Did we not die? I think I didn't proto belt in time, if I'm correct. I did flash away, you know, from her QW. I think I escaped. Let's see if we do escape. We may be able to. I tried to all in her, but what happens? Let's see what happens. Oh, she's Anya abused. I tried to EQ. It did hit, but it wasn't enough. Wasn't really enough. I mean, I was kinda behind, right? Like, if I wouldn't be behind, she would die there. But it's kinda good though, because I AoE'd like most of them. Or at least like Orianna. So like Samira, it was very easy to like get a reset for Samira to get kills there. That was like kinda nice, at least like after my Shadow Realm to some degree. Did also like AoE damage them with my passive. So I got the assists at most. For my Darkseid it's really nice because I got 3 Darkseid stacks of that. That's like good at least. Samira is sort of also coming back. The early game was a bit sloppy, but they are also coming back. Tough game, isn't it? It's kind of a hard game. It's kind of a hard game, but we are trying our best to like at least like rotate for objectives to ult the enemy league, because he has no QSS yet. So if people are doing objectives, you should rotate to it as fast as possible, of course. So you sort of ult them, not as I did, because I was kind of late on it. But if your team decides to go for objectives, you can look to ult the enemy jungle. So that's like your main goal as Mordekaiser, right? When it comes to objectives, right? And so in here it's just like very simple. What happens? I push out the wave. Often you see me like pushing out to sideways, and in here I was very greedy. Don't do this. Don't do that, boy. I was very greedy. I got punished for my greediness, okay? I was very greedy. I was very greedy there. The good thing is at least they got distracted and not all of my teammates died, but like some of them did, and some of them did keep the Baron, which is kind of nice. But at least they didn't all die, you know, because I stalled. So there is some positive out of me like dying there, because I stalled at least the Baron, right? So maybe like 2 of them could be dead, right? In here I also did get killed. Holy hell, we are dying a lot of times this game. But generally speaking, melee matchups, you win all of them pretty much from mid lane. Some of them take maybe more or less skill than range ones. Range ones are at most fine. At most they are fine. Especially the ones that take time to scale and they're not the best at kiting you. But the ones where you win like short race quite hard with your kit. With your Comet Scorch, with your shield and all that, those are usually the good matchups. So generally it's not a bad champion. I just wanted to showcase one of those like shittier matchups overall, and shittier games where like people are also like sort of hinting early on in your team. So that's that. In here I again get caught. So I wanted to show off this Wars game as well, where I'm not like turbo stomping, 1v9ing, smashing everyone. Just like these shittier games where I get caught, where my teammates is not doing well. Then in here basically there will be one more fight, I think. There will be like one more fight in here. I ghost in. We tried to kill the Orianna, we did kill her. I missed my E, but it's because she's so fast. She's so fast, she generates a heal. She's so fast, it's unreal. And right now I'm just like pretty much like forcing this Drake, right? You're forcing Drake. Very likely they won't even step up if we pull out the Drake, otherwise they're gonna be Nautilus hooked, and that's not really like a great thing for them. Maybe we could pull it out a bit even more. You won't cut us! You won't actually cut us there, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, you won't cut us there. We did get a leak kill at least. At least we did get a leak kill, so we don't look like an ass the whole game, right? Yep. So she did get ulted, and we are just finishing her off. In here I got 6 assists, so even if I got some even if I would get some kills, I couldn't, because my team was like basically you know, fighting and getting all of my kills. But it shouldn't be a big deal. And in here Lee showed up. Now Lee kicked, right? Lee kicked the Samira, and I was like, I gonna ult this guy. I was like, I'm gonna ult this guy, so we'll be able to like kill him in like no time. And just got him before he gets to maybe like Q into Samira WA or something. So I wanted something to happen, or maybe like some random, I don't know, Orianna ults in, or I don't know what, like Janna Qs something, you know. So I wanted 400% to kill that Lee. And that's why I ulted in, because that's worth, because like ulting him there, this allows them from contesting this objective as a whole, I think. Oh god, in there we got wiped. In there we got wiped, boy. In there we got wiped. He gets also one-shotted. But this game was crazy though, there were many flips here and there. In here we did get Baron, of course. But the thing is, like, it looks like I don't do much, but until like Lee Sin has no QSS, I force them quite a lot to play differently. Because every time we do an objective, I can just ult Lee Sin. So this is even better in lower ranks, because in lower ranks people don't even know what the hell is QSS. So basically, like, you're such a good like zoning tool, even if you're not like too useful as Mordekaiser. I know this is a bit sloppy, right? And now in there I chose to ult her because Orianna just ults me otherwise. So I'm right now in Shadow Realm. Orianna's ult doesn't hit. This is Vayne. I'm fighting Vayne, right? And so it's very simple what's happening right now. I'm looking to force. I miss my E because XD, Q and mobility she has, but I hit my Q, right? I did hit my Q there, right? Now watch how many basic attacks I hit. None. But I did hit my second Q and she died, right? So she basically died in like 2 Qs. Now the reason why do I have this you know, Magic Pen, Proto build, Sork Shoes build is because likely, like, if I would go for another build such as Riftmaker and I would go like Tabby or something, the issue would be there if she doesn't dice in 2 Qs, she gets out of my Shadow Realms or she kites me out, right? So ideally you need to kill Vayne there as fast as possible, otherwise she will get more wiggle room if you want to go more tank, which is not ideal because they got already plenty of anti-tank champions. Like, you're not always the most useful if you go for some random type of full armor, Tormail, whatever build, you know? Because that's not what's gonna make you like more useful if you just go full tank every game. And I mean, gladly we did win this game, right? Gladly we did win this game, but this game was rough. In here again we are just doing Drake. I'm just like smashing that Drake with my passive. With my Demonic Embrace we are just like slaughtering the Drake in no time. We got the Drake and there will be like one more big team fight if I'm correct. There will be one more big team fight, but that's it. Yep. People are getting caught, he got ulted, he got killed by me in here. I think Lee Sin tried to do what in here? I think he got caught and I wanted for sure to kill him, right? Yeah, I ulted him in case like some random things. You know, the thing about Mordekaiser ult is it's better to be safe than sorry in this type of scenarios, because some random things can hit you. Like for example, if your Orianna were to ball Lee Sin with her E, basically that ball disappears when you ult him, right? So it's like it's like you don't get caught by random stuff like the Janna Q, like a Orianna ult. So I just wanted to be very safe with this all-in. That's why I ulted here, I think. And also it was I ulted because I think he warded earlier on the other side of the wall, so he can't actually ward jump. He can't ward jump because he is in shadow room. I mean that room, and he doesn't seize the ward, so he dies, right? But yeah, like in late game, like your ult doesn't have much cooldown. Honestly, I always say it's better safe than sorry with your ult, because random things could just pop out of nowhere and that could possibly allow you from getting a kill. Because not many like ult opportunities you'll get, if you'll get any, so into that type of comp they have. So yeah, let's go for the safe ones, honestly. They did hit 1Q at least there, okay? And Samira did wipe them. The good thing is Samira is goat at this game, right? And in here I didn't talk much about the build, but Realize is basically to slow, you know, to be more sneaky, because that's what we need against them. Demon, he gives HP, gives offensive, that's really good overall, both defensive and offensively used. And Abyssal Mask is just a cheap source of MR that also provides you magic penetration, which has a little bit of a synergy with your E and ult, because you know, the lower MR you have, the more damage you're gonna deal, so this provides some degree of damage as well. The Abyssal Mask, it shows 1 damage, but I think that's a bug. It didn't only give 1 damage, let's be real. But the whole thing revolved around like the enemy comp, right? My whole Mordekaiser build. Now let's get back, of course, to the oh, wrong thing. Let's get back a little bit to my profile. As I said, like generally speaking, some games you suffer, some games you won't. Like you see, this game I suffered. This game I didn't, right? Some games you win through laning phase, some games you won't. Some matchups you have to learn how to play. In here I did kinda ain't. This was like a very bad game, but I got camped then. Yeah, or yeah, like Syndra is beatable. It's just like Syndra, if she's camped by her own jungle or Pike, it's not really. So there will be some ups and downs when you play these champs, and you definitely have to learn the matchups, your builds and whatnot. I even played a Nudir game, right? So you gotta like know what to build, what kind of summoner spells, what kind of runes, of course, to take. And remember, if you're looking for any type of league coaching, feel free to join my Discord, which I will of course leave in the description. That's it for now. Have a nice day, and also remember, if you have any type of questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. Yep. Stop.